This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Bikeworks HMB, your one-stop shop for bike service, sales, and rentals in Half Moon Bay, California. Whether you're on the mountain, road, or low on battery, Bikeworks HMB has your back. So come on down to 520 Kelly Street and come talk some shop with the boys. All right, I'm GT. Peace out. Enjoy this episode of the podcast. Welcome back to the Between Shifts podcast. Our guest this week is a true adventurer, entrepreneur, and lifelong learner. From racing mountain bikes on the coast to running world-renowned shark dives in Fiji, her journey is anything but ordinary. Whether she's foraging mushrooms in the redwoods or curating travel experiences across the South Pacific, MaryAnne lives life with passion, curiosity, and fearless authenticity. Please welcome our guest, MaryAnne Hines.
Thank you.
Ooh.
That's so nice.
Oh, yeah.
This is pretty cool.
I sound exciting.
You are exciting.
We'll keep it exciting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start off really slow and just get you warmed up to this whole podcast thing. But where did you grow up?
I grew up in the Bay Area until I was about 7 in San Jose specifically. And then my family moved to Carson City, Nevada. So from Bay Area to the sticks.
Yeah. What part of San Jose did you grow up?
East Side San Jose.
East Side San Jose.
Which is not great nowadays, but back then it was really pretty. It was mostly orange groves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And as a matter of fact, like sort of right when it started to turn, that's when and that was one of the reasons why we moved. It was just like, okay, we're gonna move to more tame place.
Yeah. And did your parents own the house that you guys grew up in San Jose? So they probably got a nicer house in Nevada as well. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I think it was one.
Nice. Not that mattered with 12 siblings or 12 kids, right?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And that was like, I mean, I know my mom grew up in Mountain View when it was still all like orchards and farms everywhere. Same thing.
Yeah.
Where it started off and then more and more houses.
Yeah.
It was crazy. My uncle Jimmy Coslino was telling me stories that his dad, Big Jim, used to tell him about loading up in the back of a pickup truck and going to Menlo to get, I think it was apples or some sort of fruit off of farms in Menlo. And now when you think about it, it's like, what?
Yeah.
In Menlo?
Yeah.
Just for all the
orange
techies
groves
live.
in San Jose.
Yeah. That's really cool.
So then between Bay Area and Nevada, what was your favorite when you were growing up?
Well, when we first moved from the Bay Area to Nevada, I used to wake up every morning and hope that it was a bad dream because we moved from like a green, lush state to just sagebrush, dry sagebrush.
Just desert.
You know, desert.
Yeah.
Wild West, you know, and we moved in the wintertime. So it was snowing when we moved there, and it was like, you know, what do we do? This, but I learned to appreciate it, you know, because it was hot in the summertime, really super hot, but you know, we rode our motorcycles everywhere, you know, it was free reign.
Yeah.
There's so much free land.
Yeah.
And there were rivers, and so we just take off, and we we skied. I started skiing really young, and we shot guns, you know, and went to Lake Tahoe. And so, I mean, when I look at it now, I appreciate it because it was less populated, and it wasn't a bad place to grow up.
Yeah.
I feel like life would have been different here because, you know, especially if we'd have stayed in San Jose, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, you grew up the number 11 of 12 kids. That's a lot of kids. We just want to know, what was that like, and how do you think that chaos of 12 or 11 siblings helped shape who you are today?
It was chaos. It's like running with scissors and laughing. You know, just like we were a tribe. You know, we had everybody looked out for each other. Nobody was alone. It was always like, you know, if you were going somewhere, and I'm talking about my older siblings, you know, you had to take somebody with you, you know, and you had to watch out for them. And you always were fighting to be seen and heard, but at the same time, you're always looking for a place for solace. Like
Yeah.
my sisters and brothers, they had a room up in the attic, and I used to go up there, and there was posters and stuff everywhere, and I'd go up there all and be by myself, and nobody would come look for me for hours. And so I would just sit up there and play, and just like it was great just to be alone, because inside the house, it was chaos. There was 10 kids living in the house in 3 bedrooms. Like my parents had a fourth.
Yeah.
They turned the den into a bedroom. 10 kids in 3 bedrooms at the same time.
Yeah.
And 2 of my brothers were in a trailer in the backyard.
Wow.
So it was like constantly, shuffling rooms. But we had like, you could, whenever you got a room, you could paint it.
Yeah.
Whatever color you wanted. It was like everybody was borrowing everybody's stuff, so that for that reason,
Yeah.
you became like really like possessive of your things. Oh my God, next thing, every time you turn around, somebody's taking something.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Cheaper by the Dozen?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Oh, it's pretty funny.
Who's in that? Wait,
it's the comedian with, he's got the really nice white long hair.
Fabio.
Fabio.
Chris Farley. I don't know.
Steve Martin.
Oh, Steve Martin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Great
yes.
movie.
Yeah.
We watched that recently.
That's a funny
funny.
movie.
I just thought about it as I read you that question, but
So then, first off, like, what was the age difference between kid 1 and kid 12? And then what is like a memory or story that you think just like encapsulates growing up with 11 other siblings?
So I think there's 20 years between the oldest and the youngest.
Wow.
So some of the things we camped. So my parents took us on adventures. Like they were kind of, crazy as far as
I mean, that's kind of crazy with
like
12
they
kids.
had a station wagon and a like an old trailer, like I don't know what you call them, Airstream, one of the smaller ones.
Oh yeah.
And
which is what
so
your brothers lived in the back? Is that the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then everybody would pile in the station wagon, and then some of them had to ride in the trailer. It was just insane.
Yeah.
And they would take us every single year. They'd take us like up to Yosemite, and we'd be up there for 2 weeks. And nobody was up there at that time.
Yeah.
It was like, not very crowded. And we'd stay up there for 2 weeks, and it would just be like playing Ditch the Rangers and playing poker and spoons and rafting. So yeah, those are some of my best memories. But my dad, if we were all like did something, like one time I remember my dad would all tell us all to go to bed. One time he was marching down the hallway, and he'd be like, "What's it gonna be?" Because he would tell everybody to go to bed, and by the time you opened the door, if you weren't in bed, then you were in trouble. And so one time my siblings put like a bucket of water above.
Oh,
he walked and fell on his head.
Yeah.
Like banged him.
Yeah.
So bad.
Oh, the bucket didn't actually flip over to pour water.
It just fell on him. And so he like made everybody line up for spankings. It was, and I was one of the little ones. And so like, I remember my sisters and brothers, like they put towels in my butt, and they're like, "All right, just as soon as it's cry." And I was like,
"That sounds smart."
Of course he barely like,
Yeah.
But he wasn't that, like my parents weren't really into, that kind of punishment. But, I mean, you've got all those kids at home, you have to do some. But
would it be safe to say that at that time your parents were kind of hippies? No, really?
No,
Okay.
We were Catholic.
Oh wow, yeah.
Everybody went to church every Sunday. I mean, my poor mom, she was trying her hardest. She my dad went to work during the day, and my mom like took care of all the kids and fed everybody. Like we had this picnic table in the living room, and everybody would sit at the picnic table. It was against a wall, and the younger kids had to sit in the back, and so like if you were younger and you had to like get out or in, you had to crawl under the table, and everybody would kick at you. But I mean, she would serve like, stews and soups and stuff like that. But most of them went to Catholic school.
Awesome.
I think I was one. My older sister, me, and Steve were the only ones who didn't go to Catholic school. And Catholic school was brutal back then. Brutal. The nuns were brutal.
Yeah.
So it was tough. But yeah, they didn't drink, they didn't smoke.
Oh wow.
And they barely fought. Like I don't ever remember hearing my parents.
That's so funny because the way that the stories you were telling, I was picking up. I was like, oh, they must have been hippies back then.
No, but you know what? But they learned. I mean, there were times like there were acid parties.
Oh yeah.
Like full on kids laying all over the grass, and my mom and dad trying to corral them and keep them in the backyard.
Yeah.
No, don't go out. Just stay in the backyard. But yeah, I mean, they went through it all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With their kids.
That's pretty.
But
awesome.
they were fiercely protective, and yeah, they tried to keep it controlled.
Yeah.
But it was.
So they definitely planned on having 12 kids then.
No.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No, they
Suicide.
were Catholic. They were Catholic, so they didn't believe in birth control.
Oh.
Not plan on it.
Oh, okay.
They wanted, I think, 4 kids.
Oh wow.
That's
Plot twist.
12's a little more than 4.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're happy about it now. My mom's still alive. She turns 100 in March.
Wow.
She's totally.
Yeah, and your dad's passed away.
Yeah. But, and she's happy, I mean, you have that many kids. We all take care of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we all take care of each other.
That's a lot of visitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she did have a nervous breakdown.
Oh, did she?
And she basically bailed and moved to her sister's house back east for like 3 months.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
So it was just you guys.
my oldest sister had to take care of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I don't blame her. I would have done the same thing.
Yeah. How old were you when that happened?
I was little. I mean, I want to say it was before. I think it was even before I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Then she came back and she was like, I want more kids. Yeah, so anyways, bit of a transition from that, but getting into college, where did you go to college?
UC.
And what did you study at UC Santa Cruz?
I studied fine arts and sculpting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was into bronze sculpting and painting.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
And was that kind of your first time moving back to California for school, or was that?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And happy to be back.
Yes. I mean, who can't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a lottery to get to surf class, and you got credit for it. It was fun going there. That's where I got into mountain biking, and
Yeah. So there was it the UC trails back then too, or was it? Yeah.
There was only 7 colleges, I want to say. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was pretty small. I mean, I don't want to date myself, but when I first got in there was like 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was small.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, then so after college, you decided to stay. Did you stay in Santa Cruz or did you move up here? Like, how did you?
I moved up here because my sister lived here. Two of my sisters.
Oh, okay.
Steve lived here.
Yeah.
He lived with my older sister, and I moved in with my other sister.
Nice.
And in El Granada, and my mom actually lived here at the time because she took a break from her marriage. She ended up going back, but she lived in El Granada, and she owned a a duplex on Avenue Alhambra, which is where I moved.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Brought me
Yeah.
up here.
And is that when you kind of started building your connection to the nature of, well, I guess at that point, El Granada,
Yeah.
but mainly just the area? That's when you started exploring?
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit how you initially got into that type of connection? Like just going out into the forest I don't know if you were doing it alone back then, but like.
No, I mean, mostly it was mountain biking.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So, because when I was going to UC Santa Cruz, my boyfriend there and I did a lot of mountain biking.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was racing, so he got me into that. And then when I first moved here, he moved to San Diego. And when I first moved here, the first thing I did was get in touch with Rich Stone and Doug Hatfield.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They owned the bicyclery downtown, and I got to know them. And we, I would go. They were living at the time in the back of the bike shop, and in this tiny little room. And I would go wake them up at like 7 a.m. We'd go do training rides because I was racing at the time, so usually go up Purisma and Harkins every time.
Yep.
We had this thing where you hit the steep parts. You had to try and ride those, and if you didn't make it to the top, you had to try 3 times. That's all you got was 3 times. If you couldn't make it, then everybody moved on.
I mean, I kind of want to stay on the mountain bikes.
We're gonna get back to it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I know.
No, let's stay on the mountain bikes, and then we can go back to the.
Okay. Let's do it.
Yeah. So racing mountain bikes came about because of a boyfriend.
Yeah.
In Santa Cruz. I mean, what's your favorite memory from when you were racing?
Oh my gosh. Well, so I did a ride on Mount Herman, and so I was in the sport division.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, I don't know, I wasn't sponsored.
Yeah.
The bike shop kind of did.
Yeah.
Really. And I remember riding that ride, and it was tough. It was hot, and I got a flat tire. Like I was coming down a creek bed, and I was on a hardtail. I was on a Ritchie. That was my bike. And I was coming down a creek bed, and I was just passing all these people because I was just going for it. And I got a flat tire, and I didn't have anything.
Oh, no.
I didn't have a tube.
Oh.
So I stopped, and some girl threw me the tube. And threw me like a pump, and so I pumped up my tire and I got going again, and I ended up getting second place.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
ride.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And that was like a good memory, but another one was like when they had the race at Montera. I mean, that was so many years ago. But I
think that was 89, right?
John Tomac was there.
That would have been 89.
Yeah.
And I trained so hard for that race because that was like backyard.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Represent.
And oh my God, and I got sick. Like
Oh.
the day before the race, I got sick and I couldn't do it.
Oh.
And I literally, like, the person that won that race, I beat. So I was just heartbroken. And so they were supposedly trying to have another run there, and I was like training, and I was timing myself going up Montera Mountain, every single time I rode, I was timing myself.
Yeah.
And then I was just not having fun.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I was like, man, it's just like I was in this bad race to get to the top to like beat a time, and then I was like,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, it's.
Oh, I've had the same thing because, like, I guess modern era with like Strava, how you can track everything.
Oh my God.
I used to use Strava like every time I was going out, and of course I want to put down the fastest time I can on the downhill, and I just like stopped having fun on my rides because I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm faster than that, and it's like when you just go ride,
just
you have so much more fun. Like,
totally.
Yeah.
But I do still, I mean, every once in a while, I'll be like, okay, how am I doing?
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to start now and I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping and I'm going to get to the top.
I have my individual times that I keep, like from my house to the top of the closest trail in Montana to my house. Like I still have that time where it's like, I know my PR and do that, but I couldn't do the Strava thing anymore and like be competitive like that, you know?
I set a little cardio workout thing on my watch, and all it is time and heart rate. And then I'll take off from my house and I'll time it top. And then that's just like the beginning of training camp is this time.
Yeah.
By the end, I want to be like a lot below that.
Yeah.
That's about all I do.
And then you're like, okay, I'm in good shape right now.
Yeah.
Or I'm not.
Yeah. And then on the downhill stuff, it's really just like, with me at least, I try to find little marks on the trail that I just need to hit. Like, put my front tire here.
Yeah.
And then if I'm going down, I'm like, oh, I got it. Or if I'm off, I'm like, shit.
Exactly.
And what was your favorite bike from, I guess mountain biking in general throughout your life?
So I had the Ritchie. I was a big Ritchie person.
Yeah. Very cool bikes.
I had a Specialized. That was my first. And then I got the Ritchie, which was the coolest thing at the time because it was billet braced and height, whatever. And that was the one I used for racing, which totally dates me. No shocks or anything. Just go. And then I got a Santa Cruz.
Nice.
Juliana. I got the first Juliana. And then now I have the same thing.
Yeah.
And I like it. I mean, I've test rode other ones. I haven't really tried like a Yeti or anything like that.
Yeah.
But for this is good. It took me a while to get used to it because of the wheels were bigger and stuff like that. And it felt really, really like the other bike just felt really compacted.
Yeah.
Right. You know, an extension of my
responsive.
Yeah, exactly. But then I got on that one. I was like, oh, I'm really high. And then I got used to it really being able to just do the work.
Yeah.
You know, like if you don't hesitate, it just goes over whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so I like that about that. So far that's what I've experienced.
Yeah.
So.
That's a big realization for mountain biking too, is letting the bike do a lot of the work.
Yep.
Like I used to try to do too much. And then all of a sudden I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let the bike be strong.
Yeah.
I struggle with that
point.
right now because I'm like, I took a lot of time off when I had kids and then I got back into it and had to build the skill set back up. And so now I just, for a while, I've really struggled with, oh, you know, you can do this. You've done it a million times. Just do it. And then just hesitating. And then once you hesitate, it's over.
Yeah.
And then finally going, why? Like, really, all I want to do is have fun and not hurt myself.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I still kind of struggle with that a little bit on some of the trails. I'll be like, I'm just doing it, forget it. And I crash. But for the most part, I'm like, I just not crash.
Yeah.
And just have fun. So
And get a workout.
and get
Definitely.
work. Exactly.
Yep. On the same page. So coming back into growing up, I mean, you were working summers at Sand Harbor and then winters at Mount Rose. What did those early jobs teach you? And I mean, honestly, it must have been a pretty sweet schedule.
Yeah, you know, it was through high school. So in the summers, you know, I worked up at Sand Harbor. I mean, discipline and love of nature, I would say, for both places. Because, we had to be at work at 7 a.m. and I had to drive an hour.
Oh,
so, but it was great because I worked the boat ramp. So I would check boats in.
Yeah.
And then you could go with the rangers out to the backcountry and they try to like bus people fishing, camping. So you could go through all the gates
awesome.
and drive up to the backcountry.
Yeah.
So it sort of like opened my eyes to, whoa, this is amazing.
Yeah.
And all the
exclusive
stuff.
access.
Right.
Yeah.
But you know, so what was up there.
Yeah.
And being able to see that and working at Mount Rose, I went up through the whole program when we were kids, you know, every weekend the bus would pick you up. You would go ski, and we did ski program, and then I took an instructor's course, and so that was just, you had to be there again. You had to be on the weekend.
Yeah.
You had to get up early.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was like, if you're gonna do the job, then it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
Yeah.
time.
I think this is the correct terminology here, but you're a Jill of all trades. From racing mountain bikes to directing public relations for a company, working with rainforest shamans. What's a lesson that you learned from those transitions that you still carry with you?
To go for it, basically. Like I kind of fell into the whole public relations job. I started working for this woman that my sister knew, and she was running a PR firm, and then she was hired by a pharmaceutical company that developed drugs from plants from the rainforest, and she brought me along with her. So I was like, why not? I mean, at the time, it was a job, and then I just got to know that. I got into that, and she was super tough on me. So, like, she
And you're talking about your sister?
No, I'm talking about my boss.
Oh, your boss. Oh, okay.
My boss, she was hardcore. So when she worked for this company, like, she would have me. It was a public company at the time, so she'd have me like writing press releases and all kinds of stuff, and I would come and I would bring it to her, and she would always say, "Is that your best work?" And I'd be like, and then she would say, "No, go rewrite. Rewrite it," like 5 times. And finally I started going, wow, myself. I better redo it again, and then finally bring it to her and say, yeah, that is my best. That's what I can do. And then she would like, but what ended up happening was, eventually she quit, went and moved to New York, and I took her job. And so I did it, you know? And I was like, why not? What's the worst that can happen? I'll fail. I mean,
fuck, that's so hard to step in when somebody's telling you you're not good enough.
Oh, well, I think by then,
you had enough grudge.
Yeah. You just knew she was mean.
Yeah. So for the time that you worked in the pharmaceutical industry, I mean, one, what was your job? And also, how did that change like your perception of health and wellness at the time?
And that's a good question. My job was, I was director of corporate communications. So it was a public company. So it was my job to, communicate with the public, on the company, and, do annual meetings and quarterly meetings and, stuff like that. And the company at the time, like I said, they developed drugs from plants from the rainforest. And so they had an ethnobotanist on staff.
Yeah.
You know Steve King?
Yes. He's my neighbor.
He was the ethnobotanist.
Oh,
and I
that's
worked
awesome.
Together. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we both started out when it was really small. And then it became, like, when we both started out in San Carlos, I think there were 20 people in the company. Then it became public, and then it became like 200 or 300 people.
Wow.
And they had drugs going through, clinical trials. And anyway, so that was really cool because he worked with shamans in the rainforest to identify drugs for different things.
That's really
so cool. that was a interesting part of it. Yeah. So yeah, definitely.
And I know I was bummed. I just missed, I guess it was a couple months ago, but he had like Oddfellows. He did something like basically just talking about what he did for a living as an ethnobotanist with the Oddfellows. I missed that, which I was bummed because, I mean, I've gone over to their place for dinner multiple times. I've known him like my whole life. Yeah.
Cool people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I just ran into him at Coastside Market the other day, and he wants to go swim with adults.
Yeah.
He was like, set me up. So I go swim.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
You gonna make that happen, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you always make it happen.
For sure.
Well, today You've been running it for a while, but you have a shark diving business in Fiji. Can you just tell us the backstory with that business and what that business is all about and what it means to you?
Yeah. So my sister and brother-in-law actually own the business, and like they were married in Fiji in the 70s.
Wow.
And then he started a dive business there in like 85. And then in, I think it was 87, they had a coup and Fiji just shut down, and they were trying to think of like some way to attract visitors, people to come in. Yeah. So they got together with some Fijian dive guy, and they created a shark feed. Right. Basically, they went out, they were spearfishing, and they were basically seeing what sharks came and ate the fish off the spearfish. Yeah. And in Fiji, they believe the shark god, it's called Dakawanda, and they believe that they are protected from sharks. And so they're pretty,
pretty lax about
cold in the water. Yeah. And anyway, so he started the first shark dive there in Fiji in like 87. And it became popular pretty fast. And then it grew into another one, and that shark dive started in 99, and it attracts 8 different species. So it's not caged. And there's all the little reef sharks. They're not even little, but they're reef sharks. And then you gray sharks, silver tips, lemon. And then the big ones, they get mostly bull sharks, and they're like some biggest bull sharks.
Wow.
And there can be up to like 30 bull sharks.
Yeah.
On that dive.
That's the most aggressive shark. I mean,
they are. They have the most testosterone.
Okay.
And
that'll do it.
They're not discriminate. We also get tigers. We get big tigers.
Okay.
Like 18. And they come in. They're usually females. And there's a whole hierarchy. And so like the bulls will be coming through, and bulls are very calculating. But then the tiger shark will come in, and usually it's only 1, maybe 2, and everything else just disperses. And like everything goes into the background. This tiger comes in, it's like a queen.
Yeah.
And it's like super like more deliberate, let's say.
Yeah.
It's like, where's my food? Like just
Yeah.
And it was all dive was all started because there was a lot of shark fishing going on, a lot of shark finning going on. Like Taiwanese fishing vessels were coming in, fishing the sharks. So we created a marine protected area, and basically in an effort to try to pass legislation to stop the shark fin in Fiji, because obviously they're a vital part of the system.
For sure.
The sharks, all the big fish overpopulate, and then it goes on down to the reef getting destroyed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's still, and we were able to declare a huge marine protected area. We were able to just bring awareness around the protection of sharks and the importance of that, but it became a huge tourist attraction.
Yeah.
And tourism is one of their biggest industries. And so we were able to, as a matter of fact, I had like a huge but we were able to get the numbers out there and just say, look, this is how much we're bringing tourism every year. Millions of people are coming, and we're bringing in all this money, which makes it way more worth it to keep alive than
definitely.
Alive.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. It's really popular.
Yeah,
like pretty much every scuba diver has it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
that's cool. And this is all without cages.
Yeah,
that's gnarly.
That's crazy.
There's never been an incident.
Wow.
With a diver. Like our feeders sometimes will have an incident if they're like not wearing their chainmail glove or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not. Also, I just want to point out that they're not dependent on it as a food source.
Yeah.
These sharks have been tagged. They travel 2,000 miles.
Yeah.
It's like they're not hanging out waiting
It's not a dinner bell. It's just
No,
It's a snack.
Yeah.
and they don't associate it with, like, if a boat pulls up, you don't see them crowding around.
Yeah.
That's not like the way it is. Like, it
Yeah.
takes a while to even get the scent out and for them to come. So it's been going on at that one particular location for 20 something years, and there's never been like an issue.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. How often do you get to go out and dive?
I go to Fiji twice a year.
Twice a year?
And then I try to go to other places, like I go to Vanuatu, I go to Tonga, I go to,
Awesome.
the other places that,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
And then you took over ownership of that business in 2008.
Mhm.
And I mean, what was the difference between feeling like you were overwhelmed or feeling overpowered? Or,
yeah. Well, I'd already been like running it
Okay.
since 1996.
Okay.
So even though it was my brother-in-law's business, he also had a whole nother business that he ran, an insurance business.
So it wasn't a big change.
No, I was in charge of it already. And
Okay.
I swear to God, he kind of he's like, I'm done, I'm out. It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
I'll take it. But at one time he had a resort
Okay.
and he had 5 different dive operations.
Wow.
So he sold the resort in 2008. And that was when I stepped in. Running that was a whole nother animal, but because I also did that.
Okay.
And I only kept the one dive operation.
Yeah.
Ran the shark dive. That's it. That was enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's still cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what's it like on a day-to-day having a business that's overseas like that? Like, because the hours are different. So how do you communicate with people over there? Do you have to wake up earlier? Do you have to stay up later? Or is it
No, it's
typically
later. So they're like 5 hours behind us
Oh, okay.
and a day ahead.
Mhm.
But it's just 5 hours behind. So basically they wake up around 2:00 in the afternoon. And that's when stuff starts to come in.
Yeah.
But running a business is I have a saying, it's retraining starts at AM, because it doesn't matter. It's like there's some block where even though there's a whole, program in place,
Mm-hmm.
it always goes awry. There's always shenanigans. I mean, I love Fijians. They're the sweetest people. They're some of the sweetest people in the world, you know.
Yeah.
And they're funny and they love to laugh and joke around, but there's always shenanigans.
For sure.
Like you always have to kind of keep an eye on
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. So obviously you have a pretty good manager over there.
Yeah.
Day to day wise. Are they Fijian? Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And
He's
Fijian.
And how much do you have in like the day-to-day operation for that business?
Yeah.
how much
Being over here.
involvement?
Yeah.
A lot.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. And I have to,
Yeah.
because I've learned over the years that if you are not involved on a daily basis in some way,
Mm-hmm.
then stuff just starts to go awry, because
Yeah.
they're thinking that you're not watching, so you want to do,
Mhm.
and so it really does take day-to-day involvement and keeping things on track, and meetings always.
Yeah.
I meet with staff all the time. I have meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Just, make sure they know I'm also, appreciate them.
Yeah.
And that I know what they're
Invested
doing.
in the
I'm
business.
invested
Yeah.
in it,
Yeah.
and it makes them proud. Like
Yeah.
if I'm involved, it makes them proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're like, oh, she notices.
And
Yeah.
and how was the change from, I mean, because what year did you start doing this with that dive business?
Because you started before 96, right? Working it.
Yeah, I mean, I started right around. Well, I started, then I quit and went to PR,
Yeah.
and then I
Yeah,
started again. So I technically like 96.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm
Right
just
after
trying to
Jamin was.
I'm just trying to get to the point of like, there's a huge difference in the ease of communication
Oh, yeah.
just with technology.
Yeah.
developing and everything, like even the job in, let's just say 2002 versus now, like, yeah, I'm sure it's a lot easier.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, yeah, technology is everything, right? I mean, that way you can stay on top of everything. You're sharing folders, you're sharing financials, you're like seeing emails.
Your POS system, you're able to look at it like day to day.
Cameras, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So in 96, was it primarily communication through email and phone calls, like landline phone calls? Yeah. And then I guess early 2000s, it would have gone to more like cell phone calls and you could call more frequently. Sort of deal. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I mean, even then it was expensive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then like Skype came.
Yeah. And WhatsApp. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And then in your career, you've taken some pretty bold turns. And I mean, has there ever been a moment where you've just said like, you know, I'm going for it? I mean, I feel like the PR thing.
Yeah.
That's a big one where you just kind of went for it.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, yeah. I kind of sort of fell into the things, you know, like, okay, I had an art degree and I was like, what am I going to do with that? Even though that was just something I love to do and I still love to do.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what am I going to do with that?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's something you don't think about when you go to college for the most part.
Yeah.
You're like, I love this, passionate about this, but then you get out and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some people follow their path, right? But yeah, those were things I kind of fell into and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
There was a time though, like before COVID hit, where I was kind of like, God, I'm just burnt out. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else. I was trying to come up with different things to do. And then COVID hit and my business shut down for 2 years solid. I went from like being successful to nothing, zero.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I had to pay my rent.
Yeah.
I had to pay my boat loans. I had to put out a lot of money every month just to keep the business alive so that I could go back to it. And I couldn't just walk away from it.
Yeah.
Because in Fiji, they always make you have a Fijian director of the company.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So if you try to just walk away from the business, it all falls on your director.
Wow.
And they pretty much, you know, they're like, they'll take your house or whatever.
They'll just sell all assets. Yeah.
And so, I mean, not that I would have done that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an option. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh man, I got to keep this alive. So thank God it only lasted. So when I got back to it and it started just going gangbusters, people wanted to travel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And my business here too. And I was like, oh wow, this is not bad.
Yeah.
Like it's way better than something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So how do you stay balanced in that fast-paced business world? How do you stay grounded? You say that you're foraging for mushrooms, you're learning bird calls. How do you stay grounded with that business going on? Because it seems hectic.
Yeah, life's crazy. And it always will be. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like it never, as a matter of fact, you know, it just becomes more and more busy and more crazy the older you get, right? Mm-hmm. And then you have kids or you don't or whatever, and it just keeps getting busy. So you have to just prioritize.
Yeah.
What's important to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, and I kind of like learned that a little bit. So when the kids were first growing up and I was working 24/7 and I was taking care of the kids, just taking them to school, picking them up, you know, the whole thing. And it was like I was constantly going, and I took up surfing. And it was like I would drop them off at school. Me and like another girls, we'd all go down to the jetty and just like try to
get in
surf.
the water.
And a few of us kept up with it. And for me, that made me a better mom.
Yeah.
Because I would go surfing for a couple hours, I'd go and I'd work for a little bit and I'd pick the kids up and I was so happy.
Yeah.
I was like, instead of just being uptight, I was happy.
Yeah.
So you know, and I learned too that it was like I was never going to get caught up with everything.
Mhm.
I was always like on this quest to get caught up with everything so that I didn't have all this work to do. And then I realized there's always
Yeah.
more to do, and I was never going to get caught up. So I just had to prioritize. And then you just make whatever those things you love part of your life, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you prioritize them. So
Yeah.
you bike ride and you work and you just find the time.
Yeah.
Time management.
Time management.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you've worked in both traditional travel agencies and I guess adventure travel. I mean, I feel like as time goes on, they're becoming less popular. I feel like a lot of
Yeah.
people try to do it themselves, that type of thing. I mean, how does that industry change and evolved, and how have you had to change and evolve with that?
Yeah. Well, one way it's changed is being somebody who, and we're talking about my other business, it's called Ultimate Vacations. So it's not the Shark Dive, it's a travel company that
Mhm.
organizes vacations to the South Pacific.
Mhm.
So I sell Fiji, Vanuatu, Tonga, Solomon Islands, Tahiti, the Cook Islands, and it goes on. Anyways,
Yeah.
Anything in the South Pacific.
anything in
basically.
the South
Yeah.
Pacific, and I do luxury, adventure, and stuff like that. But one thing that changed over the years is I could do it anywhere.
Yeah.
So the beauty of that is I could be working
Mhm.
anywhere. I can go up to my cabin in Tahoe and I could work and then
Yeah.
go hiking or fishing or whatever. But yeah, like you mentioned, people, since the internet, people are like, there's like a joy in researching and finding places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go out there and you have a quest to find the best places, so you're like,
experience the
I'm going to
cultural- yeah.
organize this.
And even just the popularity of like, I saw somebody post this beautiful spot on Instagram,
Yeah.
and then like, I want to go there now.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's just like the photo spots have become like so iconic and bring a lot of travel just for like
I know sometimes
just for
it
that.
kills me. But to get back to your original question, one of the advantages that I have of where I sell is some of the places is they haven't really been well navigated yet.
Okay.
And let's just say Fiji has 300 islands. There's a lot of there's a lot of places. There's a lot
Yeah.
of different climates, a lot of different places you could stay. You can stay in some popular places, but there's so many little gems that people don't
Yeah.
really know about
Mhm.
and that I do know about. And I have decades of experience there, and I know all the operators that will take you to sweet little spots
Yeah.
that nobody else goes.
Yeah.
And if something happens, I know so many people and I can get you out of there, or I can get you a flight, or I can get you, whatever
Yeah.
you need. So that's, I think, the one thing that's really saved me is like, a lot of people like to do it yourself things, but it would be the same of any project. Like you can do it yourself, but
Mm-hmm.
you can also hand it over to somebody with
Yeah.
decades of experience who'll do it a lot
Yeah.
better than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I do appreciate like the joy of planning your own trip, but at the same time I get a lot of people I'm able to like doubt. People call me and want to pick my brain.
Yeah.
Oh
and
yeah.
you can always tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I deal with a lot of people who just kind of, they want they want a good vacation. They want to basically go, I say, what do you want to do? What do you like to do?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to lay on a beach? Do you like to hike? Do you like to go to waterfalls? Do you like to, what do you want to do? And they'll tell me and I'll be like, okay. And then I'll give them like 3 options. Generally they're right on the mark and they'll choose it and that's it.
Yeah.
And they go and and you're not like necessarily saving any money by doing it yourself, because any rate that you could get out there, I can get to,
Mm-hmm.
but I just get a kickback and that's how I make my money.
Yeah.
But I can usually get better because since I send so many people, I have I know the owners of the
Bulk
hotel.
pricing.
I'm like, throw in this or throw in that. Or like
Yeah.
when you went,
Mm-hmm.
I got like a special rate for those guys,
Yeah.
because, hey, I've got friends. that are
Yeah,
coming,
yeah.
I'll be like,
And-
all right.
Speaking from a personal standpoint, not knowing anything about Fiji but wanting to go to Fiji, and I was like, "Hey, MaryAnne." She's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Well, we like to lay on the beach
Wanna
and
surf."
we want to surf." She's like, "Oh, Funky Fish Surf Resort." All right.
For you guys, I was looking for affordable,
Yeah, yeah.
like
Yeah.
something where you could stay for a while and not have to pay an arm and a leg.
It was
Meals
awesome.
were included,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
That's cool.
No, that was cool. That was a really cool stay. Well, yeah. In the business that you're in, you have a little bit of flexibility at the point of life that you're at now. So, what does a dream day look like for you? What if you have nothing set, just work, and
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Well, if it's a work day, then the goal is to work until around 3:00,
Mm-hmm.
and then later in the summer, and then just head out and go for a bike ride or a hike during mushroom hunting season. I hunt mushrooms,
Yeah.
but I combine that. So I'll hop on my bike and go. I'll
Yeah.
hunt along the way.
Yeah.
And it's always a bonus if I come back with a backpack full of mushrooms
Yeah.
and I've done a great bike ride and
That's
it's
pretty awesome.
gorgeous and all that stuff,
Yeah.
or foraging stuff. Yeah, and if it's the weekend, I'm doing. I like to do projects, but mostly like I'll do like whatever projects, it's gardening or freeze drying or canning or whatever, and then but I'm always trying to get like hike or something.
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
out.
Something active.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is kind of not on here, but when it comes to foraging, I think one of my favorite things that I've done is like nettle tip teas.
Yeah.
It's so good
Yeah.
and it's so easy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
they're
Nettles-
just everywhere too.
You talking like stinging nettle?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Just cut the tips off and
That's a big thing. in
Boiling
I
water.
never
too.
tried the tea.
oh, okay.
It's good.
So you cut the tips off. They're not flowering, obviously. Yet.
Yeah.
You're just getting the.
Just the tips of the new growth, and then put it in a cup and pour boiling water on it, and it neutralizes all the thorns.
Yeah.
When you pour the boiling water on it, and tastes good.
It's really good.
Health benefits.
It's actually a superfood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nettles, they have tons of minerals and vitamins.
Mm-hmm.
I've made pasta.
Oh,
I've
wow.
made nettle chips,
Oh, cool.
Oh.
which are really good. Pesto out of it.
Oh.
But I'll get it and I'll dry it,
Mhm.
and then I have like a jar of it dried, and then you throw it in like smoothies or whatever. It's
Yeah.
super
Yeah.
nutritious. Yeah.
I hadn't even heard about that until I was traveling in New Zealand, and they're like, "Do you want some nettle tea?" I'm like, "Whoa, that stuff gives you a crazy rash." They're like, "No, we boil it, and it actually like blah 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 blah." And I was like,
You know what's
"Okay, I'll
funny?
try some."
It doesn't sting me anymore.
Really?
Mm-mm. I don't know if it's because I ate a lot of it, like in smoothies and stuff like
Mhm.
that, or whether I just handled it. But one day I'm like handling it. I'm like, oh, hold on. I don't need these gloves anymore. Like it just doesn't sting me.
That's cool.
I can go
Yeah.
pick it.
It's really interesting actually with poison oak. There's somebody, I can't remember what their name is, online that talks about like almost, microdosing, eating poison oak
The
to become immune.
urushiol. I can't remember what the oil is. I think it's urushiol.
Oh, like
Yeah.
poison oak oil?
Yeah.
So they
And they become immune.
Well,
they-
because you can actually get the oil
Yeah.
okay.
and like
Whoa.
dose it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like snake venom or anything like that, like building antibodies to it.
Yeah. That's what the guy's talking about. He
Yeah.
eats like really fine amounts of poison oak. And he's like,
God.
he talks about it so openly. He's like, I knew when I started this, I was going to have to take a shit.
Yeah.
And I had to be ready for that side of this. And when
Oh,
he
God.
started
What
it,
is that?
Yeah,
What
like-
happened?
it's probably so itchy down there.
Oh,
gosh.
Like, no, is this the same guy that was talking about putting it in a capsule? and eating
Probably.
it that way.
I've only seen one guy talking about it, to be honest. So it must be the same guy. I don't
It
know.
scares me.
Yeah, it does scare me.
It makes
Yeah.
sense though.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Because clearly immunity by exposure can tell you it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you know what?
I get it all the time.
Poison oak,
Yeah.
apparently, like the more you get it.
Yeah.
But so that's why it scares me that if you take a microdose, imagine that work, but
Yeah.
apparently, like where you get it, the worse you get.
Exactly. And that's the same thing with poison ivy too, where
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, the more exposed you get to it, your body has a worse reaction every time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
still
get it.
I get it.
Poison oak's just as bad as when I was little.
Yeah, exactly. It's always bad. So you mentioned wellness and alternative medicine, and you also, worked in the pharmaceutical industry and, actively forage for mushrooms and other naturals out there. What are some natural practices and products that you swear by in your daily life?
Okay. So we mentioned before Nettle. That's a big
Yeah.
one. I have that for sure, and I use it. Other things would be like rosemary. I use rosemary spray and oil on my scalp, and it helps your hair grow.
Okay.
And it works.
Oh, wow.
I have made mullein, tincture out of mullein. Mulleins are that fuzzy plant that you find in the Sierras that have the big yellow stalk.
Yeah.
Yeah, along the side of the roads. Anyway, I make tincture out of that, and it's really good for respiratory ailments.
okay.
So I have that in my refrigerator all the time.
How do you take that?
Just you make a tincture out of it, so you distill it in alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and then you let it sit for weeks, and then
Yeah.
you pour it into like a dropper bottle.
And just drop it under your tongue or
Yeah.
something.
You can I get mugwort, and I've made like an oil out of that. That's for skin stuff like poison oak, things like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
You can actually snort golden seal powder for sinus stuff.
Okay.
I mean, there's a lot of like different things that I've learned about, and I started foraging like in like 2018, like I start hiking and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I think what started it out was I was like, one year there was just a rumor year for mushrooms, and I
Mhm.
was like, what is all this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's
so then I
mushrooms
started taking
everywhere.
pictures, and I was like, what are these?
Mhm.
So I started learning, and then I started that. Now you have that feature on your iPhone. You
Yeah.
could look it up right then.
I was using that
you?
today at work.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now you can just go along, and you're like, oh, that's like yarrow, like
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I started learning about stuff, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a tincture out of this. And Taya was doing the same thing. She was working with Brian Jessup, he's the forager guy,
Mm-hmm.
and super knowledgeable guy. You'd probably love having him on here.
Yeah.
He knows,
Yeah.
because he forages mostly on the coast, and he knows every plant.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
interesting person also. And but anyway, yeah, those are some of the things.
Yeah. That's a lot more than I thought that you were gonna name. That's awesome. Yeah. Well, if you could design a personal retreat or a dream project that combined all your passions like nature, learning, travel, wellness, what would that look like?
So during COVID, my business shut down because, of course, you couldn't travel anywhere. So I started developing a company, a U.S.-based company that was for like luxury adventure travel.
Okay.
And so I was researching all these places. I was doing a website, and I pretty much got it developed. I just haven't ever launched it because I've been too busy.
Yeah.
But I as I started researching, I found all these amazing things that you could do. And like one of the perfect trips was like up in the Rockies or something like that. And it was staying in this super cool luxury cabin, like out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And you had at your disposal like these incredible mountain biking trips, right?
Yeah.
Or you could go fly fishing,
Mhm.
or you could mountain bike,
Yeah.
all that stuff. And then there was somebody cooking you healthy food, and you could do yoga and meditation. And I was just like, oh my God, this sounds amazing. I mean, it costs a lot.
Yeah.
But to to create something like that. It wouldn't necessarily have to be luxury. I mean, that's bonus, obviously, and
Yeah.
somebody could free also bonus. But I mean, something like that is pretty cool. Yeah,
Definitely.
I went to a trip in Mexico a couple of years ago with a friend of mine, with a group of girls. There's 24 of us, and we took over a wellness resort in Mexico, and it was in El Sargento, and it was like a wellness resort on the beach, and so there was like, it was vegetarian. The food was amazing, and every day there was yoga classes you could choose from, and there was like shamans there that would do like, you know, ceremonies with you and stuff like that, healing ceremonies with you, and but we went out and we saw whale sharks and rays and dolphins. And so it was, that's just another type of thing. That was pretty cool. Yeah,
definitely.
And then you've been doing a lot of freeze drying. I mean, we heard you about with your nettle and stuff like that, getting into fly fishing and preparing for whatever the future holds. What's driving that sense of like self-reliance and curiosity at this point in your life?
Yeah, so I was already doing the foraging and the mushroom hunting a while ago, which is just super interesting. And then COVID hit, and the grocery stores emptied out, and it was like such a weird feeling to go to the grocery store, and like there was nothing in the frozen department. There was no rice, there was no flour, you know, and it was like, what? And it was crazy how quickly that happened. And the supply dried up. And so I was like, first of all, I was like, I'm going to start canning food. And I'm going to like just store a bunch of like sauces, broths, and vegetables and stuff like that, because why not? And then I saw like something on freeze drying, and I was like, and how freeze drying retains 90% of the nutrients in foods. So what it does is it freezes it first, and then it extracts the moisture. So it's different from like dehydrating. Which just extracts moisture and
kind of
some nutrients. So I was like, oh man, I want to do that. So I bought one. It was pricey, but and I started out just doing some fruit. Like I almost brought you guys some, but bananas, pineapple, berries, stuff like that, and they're so delicious. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna start doing like full meals. So it's same as MREs. So like I did chili and stew and stuff like that. And so it's kind of I've just started doing it in the last, I don't know, months or so, but I'm getting revved up. And but you can do, you know, mashed potatoes, you can do scrambled eggs, you can do like, you know, just about anything. And so I've tried it and then rehydrated them, and they taste like you just made it. Like the stew tasted like I just made it. Pour some hot water in, you just
that's like
zip it up.
with backpacking meals, because like, you know, there's like Mountain House and all those brands, and like I would say like half of them that I try are okay. I still stay away from anything with eggs, because like I don't know why I can't get over the freeze-dried eggs. They're just not that good for me. But one thing I recently saw was freeze-dried hummus is a really cool one, especially for like backpacking or anything like that, because I mean, it's garbanzo beans. Like there's so much protein. So it's like this, like it's essentially protein powder. But it's hummus, you know, add a little water and then you just have your hummus, and you can just eat. Well, if you're backpacking, I'm not sure if you're going to bring carrots, but
that's true.
But you know,
good fruit striker.
But
I don't know how they reconstitute, but it's the same concept of Mountain House. But what I like is you have control of the flavor of whatever you're making, so you know that what you made is really tasty. And what it's going to turn out like. But you know, I had like all this stuff stored up, like strawberries, bananas, pineapple, whatever. And then Jamin and Allie came to stay and started eating them. Now they're almost all gone.
Yeah.
So I have to start over.
Like,
But
that was my cash.
the idea, like my idea is to have like 3 months worth of food stored up
Yeah.
for 6 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? Why not? Because freeze-dried food has a 25-year shelf life.
Wow.
25 years, and canned food has up to 30 years depending on what it is.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, I could stock up like a good wall full of that stuff and just have it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just whatever I do after that is
Yeah.
Well, if you could go back 10 years, what activity would you do with yourself, and what advice would you give your younger self?
I had to really think. And 10 years isn't that long,
No.
actually, if I think about it.
Make it 20 if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it 20.
Okay, 20.
So I wish I had started foraging and mushroom hunting back then, because it wasn't such like a well-known thing.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would have had like so many spots.
There's like quarter mile off the road. And
Yeah.
It's like,
It's all over.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of gotten popular in some ways. But one of the things that I wish I would have focused on more back then is how like everything's connected.
Mhm.
Everything's connected, and there's a reason there's a reason for everything. It's all a lesson in life, right? And I pretty much knew that, and I was aware of that, but I'm really careful now of just checking myself as far as negative thoughts and feelings go, like just constantly going, hold on, don't think that thought, like don't project that, because negativity brings, whether it's a feeling about somebody, a thoughts about somebody, talking about somebody, or just things happening in your own life, or what ifs.
Yeah.
Then it's like positivity brings positivity, and it's like, and negative thoughts, hatred, all that just does
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's one of the things, and it's baggage. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Like just negativity is baggage,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's like, I don't want to carry that baggage. I want to, live a life where I'm positive, where I'm kind, where I'm understanding, and also well-meaning, of course, but I also like think about trying to keep myself present. And I heard an analogy the other day on that, and this guy was talking about how, like, so for instance, if you're surfing and you catch a wave,
Mm-hmm.
and you're riding that wave, you're really not thinking about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're just experiencing,
Yeah.
right?
You're there.
You're there.
Yeah.
You're just like, you're not being like, you're not analyzing.
What's for dinner?
More like, oh,
Yeah.
but you're really just experiencing it. It's the same as if you're, like you said, if you're riding down a trail and you're like, doing like whatever trail you're flowing on, and you're just doing it. You're not really thinking about anything else. You're just experiencing it. You're in the now.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that, and I was like, man, the more I can do that.
Yeah.
Because, your brain's constantly working. It's constantly thinking about things in it. And whenever it's doing that, it's putting you in a place, you're here, you're thinking about that, what's going on. But if you're just doing, then you're just, it's a feeling, not a thought.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So you're within the feeling, not the thought. And so I feel like that, and connecting yourself with, sounds corny, but the universe, nature, whatever, is, the more you can do that, the better.
Yeah.
The more you can stay with the feeling, and
The
not
more
the
you
thought.
can connect, the more you can
That's a
stay
good
with
way
the
of putting it, dude.
feeling.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
Be in the moment.
Yeah.
And then if you could go back and pick an entirely different career path, one that, I mean, you clearly have a love for the outdoors, kind of everything outside. What would you have chosen?
I think I would have chosen to be a mycologist.
Yeah.
Just because I'm fascinated by that. I'm fascinated by mycelial network and it being the communication system for forests.
Yeah.
And how like it's an actual communication system within a forest where if this tree's sick, it sends a message through the mycelial network to this tree, and they send nutrients through the mycelial network to that tree.
And just these networks are just
insane.
Miles.
Just so much bigger than your mind can comprehend.
They're
just
everywhere. And also, you know, they create meadows, you know, so they'll like make sure nothing else grows in that meadow so that it can create a meadow so other things can grow. And also, you know, they break down dead matter in forests so that new things can grow. I mean, there's like millions of species of fungus and mushrooms that exist but haven't been identified.
Yeah.
There's only like 14,000 species of mushroom, not fungi, but mushrooms that have actually been identified, you know, and people know what they are, but there's so many more out there. And I believe that, you know, there is a cure for most natural occurring ailments in nature. And if we can only not destroy it before we discover it, then that's key. And I mean, you look at people like Paul Stamets, he's amazing. Like he was on this decades ago. He knows so much, but it's a race against, you know, destroying forests and stuff like that, which is happening all the time. So I could just see myself geeking out in the forest pretty much all the time. That's probably what I would have done. But I'm happy with what I did, because like I was having that conversation with my kids not long ago, and I was like, man, kind of wish I would have done something else that I would have had like a really sweet retirement. They're like, no, like we traveled all over the world to get your job, you know. They were like, no, that was a good job.
Yeah, that was killer.
Okay. But anyway, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, can you tell people where to find you professionally, socially, wherever?
Yeah. So my travel company, if you want to travel to South Pacific, I handle vacations, air, everything. It's called Ultimate Fiji Vacations, ultimatefijivacations.com. And the shark dive company is aquatrek.com.
Aquatrek.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Awesome.
Thanks,
well, that's MaryAnne Hines.
Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, that was awesome.
Thank you. You killed it. All right. Checking off. All right. Well, welcome back to the Between Shifts podcast. That was MaryAnne Hines. Very special character.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, she's really cool. It's very interesting. As soon as you think you have her somewhat figured out, she throws a curveball at you. She's like, I foraged for mushrooms. I'm like, what?
Dude, it's a insanely cool career path.
Yeah.
And I mean, also just coming from 11th of 12 siblings is insane.
That's wild.
Insane.
Yeah. I wish we could have gotten into more of that family dynamic. I kept wanting to bring back up Cheaper by the Dozen.
I don't even know what you're talking about with that.
Gotta stop talking about Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yeah.
No, it was super cool. She's so like sensitive yet there. Like just like she's, I don't know how to phrase this. Sensitive but like fierce. Like she's, you can tell she knows what the fuck she's doing. It's cool.
So epic that she was, I mean, unfortunately she didn't get to do it, but the Montero mountain bike race, because that's like such an iconic thing in my mind.
Yeah. We still talk about that.
Yeah.
Pretty often.
Yeah.
John Tomac, legendary mountain bike racer, was there.
Yes, exactly. John Tomac was there. But yeah, her early mountain biking too. I mean, you got to keep in mind that like back in that time, for one, the bikes were pretty brutal. I mean, like they were good for the time, but pretty brutal compared to what we have now.
Yeah.
And there were not a lot of women doing it. So the fact that she was into it enough to like be racing and everything, insanely cool.
Yeah. And the fact that she's still doing it.
Yeah, still doing it.
So cool.
Yeah, really awesome.
And it was cool to hear her be like, when I got on the 29-inch bike, I had to realize that the bike can do most of the work.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. You don't have to just like get rid of everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, shit, if you're ever thinking about traveling to the South Pacific, hit up MaryAnne because she knows what she's doing over there. So,
dude, I didn't realize, I thought the whole, like this entire time when we got the background, the bio, and figured out that, I mean, I learned that she did all of these like shark diving in Fiji and all this. I thought it was one of the like boat with a cage, drop off the back, like people hop in it. Yeah. Like, no, they're raw dogging it.
Oh, they're raw. Yeah. Other than the tanks, but yeah, they're still just there.
It's crazy.
18-foot tiger sharks.
And she's talking about however many different species, like 30 sharks at a time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds like a hell of an experience.
Yeah, it does. But I mean, like, does the average person that just travels to Fiji hop in the water with all those sharks without a cage? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, you got to have some balls to go do that. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I wonder if the tiger sharks are pretty curious with the humans, or if they just kind of swim around and just look for the food.
I fucking hope not.
That's a big shark, dude.
Yeah.
She when Claire and I were leaving New Zealand, we were like, oh well, Fiji is a stop on the way home, so we went to Fiji for 9 days. I had no idea what we were even looking at. I mean, there's a main island in Fiji, yes, but there's so many islands. Well, on all sides.
And that's what she said when she said 300 islands. I was like, oh, okay. So if I wanted to plan a trip to Fiji myself, I don't want to stay, let's just say, the Honolulu of Fiji.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So then it's like, out of 300 fucking islands, like, what am I going to pick?
Dude, she makes it so easy. She's like, what are your main qualities that you're looking for? I'm like, well, we're broke. So let's keep it affordable. And we want to surf and lay on a beach. Yeah. And have a coconut or two. Yeah. You know? And she's like, oh, there's this place. I forget what island it was, but it was like a 45-minute, an hour-long boat ride out to the island. Get out there, and it's just bungalows. And it's so cool. Low tide. You can just go sit on the beach. It's an all-inclusive resort. Not a resort, but yeah. It was cool. Yeah. It's really cool. But yeah, that's unless you got anything else. I think that's our recap for MaryAnne Hines. Yeah.
Hit up MaryAnne, go to Fiji.
Yeah. Get out in the world and go travel and use MaryAnne to travel. Yeah. She knows her shit.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Between Shifts podcast. Later.
Thank you.
Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Once again, we're brought to you by BikeWorks HMB, your one-stop shop for bike service, sales, and rentals in Half Moon Bay, California. Whether you're on the mountain, road, or low on battery, BikeWorks HMB has your back. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help support this podcast, please feel free to reach out to us at betweenshiftspod@gmail.com. The link will be in the description. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. GT, signing off.